guys, so today's video we are doing some am I overreacting posts, and the reason I'm doing that is because this one immediately made me double take. So mum burned my clothes, trashed my room after I got upset that she forged my signature to cash my paycheck. Am I the asshole? Huh? So we got some text messages here. Are you safe? Where are you staying? Why are you acting like what you did is not a big deal? What you did was fucked up. You're lucky I didn't call the cops on you. Burning my clothes and forging my signature to cash in my check. Don't pretend or act like what you did is normal. You can't even apologize. I was drunk and wasn't thinking. I'm sorry. I deeply regret what I did. Can you at least tell me where you are? That's your excuse for everything. Were you also drunk and under the influence when you decided that forging my check is the best idea? Don't act like you care about whether I'm safe or not. I know for a fact that you don't give a shit. I can't remember the last time you did. But if it would make you feel any better, I'm at a motel for 2 more days. And after that, I'll be on the streets. All thanks to you. Please don't be like this. I'll pay you back. Just come home. I'm worried about you. Pay me back with what money? You're unemployed. I pay for almost everything. Please don't reach out to me ever again until you're sober. You don't mean that. Trust me, if you ever reach out again, I'll call the cop. Please get some help. Background is, so my mum and I had a major disagreement, understandably, after I found out that she forged my signature to cash in my check. Came home the day after with most of my clothes burned and my room trashed. So not only did she steal your money, she burned what you owned, packed what's left of my clothes, and I left the house. She's been messaging me like what she did is normal, asking if I'm safe when I know for a fact that she doesn't care where I end up. Yeah, she just wants to find out you've got more money, most likely. She can't seem to understand that what she did is beyond fucked up. I'm going to be on the streets after 2 days since I used the little that I have to get a motel. I have no savings since majority of what I earn goes to bills since she couldn't hold a job and became an alcoholic after losing my dad. Is it wise to take a small payday loan and buy a tent? It's freezing from where I'm from, so I think that having a tent is better than being out on the streets. I called several shelters, but they're all at capacity. I feel so lost and hopeless. I know I don't deserve this, but I have to fend for myself until my next salary. Yeah, you're not overreacting at all. This is financial abuse and straight up criminal. Plus destroying your stuff on top of it is insane. Skip the payday loan if you possibly can. Those things are a trap, literally. I remember seeing an advert for one before, and the interest rate was something like 2,462%. I would never take one of those if you can help it. Maybe get like a credit card if you can, or even just a general loan that you can pay back. Payday loans are a complete and utter trap. Call non-emergency police and make a report about the forged check and the damage, and ask if there are any emergency housing resources they can connect you to. That's a good idea. Also check churches, local mutual aid groups, women's shelters. Even if it's full, sometimes they have overflow or can pay for a few motel nights. You're not crazy and you're not wrong for cutting her off. That abuse is insane. File a police report. Tell your HR payroll that your paycheck was fraudulently cashed by someone else. They may have a protocol for employees who fall victim to crimes. When I worked in HR, we had emergency assistance for DV and domestic violence, and you would have qualified at my place at least. Report the fraud to your bank and her bank. Also update your address on file with your employer and your bank so your mum doesn't keep getting your mail. And find a warm place to stay for now, even if it's a shelter. It sounds awful, but sometimes these sort of people who are alcoholics and just constantly going down the spiral, by stealing your money and setting fire to your stuff and then you leaving, sometimes they need to have a wake-up call, and you filing a police report that they have committed fraud may be their rock bottom. In some ways I hope so, because sometimes just hope it doesn't get worse. Whoa, am I the asshole? My mum is kicking me out for her new boyfriend. I just turned 18. So I'm 18 years old and today was probably the worst day of my life. I got this text from my mum about this guy she's been dating recently, so not even for like seriously long time. Not that kicking out your 18-year-old, unless like they're really toxic, obviously, and again, need a wake-up call, would be okay. It's some new dude that's in town. I've only met him once and he seemed okay, but I didn't really know him. I don't know much about him at all. They've been dating for a couple of months now, and I guess he wants to move in. He's got nowhere else to stay. I got this text while I was out just walking around. I don't know what to do. I'm sitting here crying like a baby. I feel like my life is done. So let's see what the texts say. That's because he loves me. I don't want to harp on the same point anymore. I deserve love. After being alone, raising you for 18 years. What the? I couldn't even continue the voice. It's time for you to leave. He's moving in. We want a blank slate. It's not anything other than it's time. You can get a job now. You have permission. Be free. I will watch from afar. Wow. But when you're living the high life in your mansion, you'll appreciate this moment. No arguments, okay? You're abandoning me over a guy you just met. Deadass, I just turned 18 and you wouldn't let me work. But now I have to leave with what? I'm speechless. This makes no sense. Why do I have to go? Like, where even? I'm gonna cover your phone for a month. You'll also be given some food and time today to pack everything. I've done what the law requires. You're 18. I said no arguments. Let's keep this conversation respectful, okay?
The audacity!
I can't. I'm sorry. I'm just really struggling with this. The anger is like boiling up inside of me. Or I can let him talk some sense into you if you're not understanding the situation. That sounds like you're going to get him to like punch a child. Literally, wow. Wouldn't let you get a job until she tells you to get out. I'd reach out to friends and family. I'd try to get in touch with local government or something of that nature to see if there are some resources at your disposal. Your mum is an asshole. I'd let her know if she wants to handle this way, she'll never see you again. That's what I'd do at least. Also, for what it's worth, this behaviour likely translates into a relationship, so I doubt the fresh slate boyfriend won't be around for long. Yeah, I agree. OP's mum is going to be in a shock when the boyfriend puts her in debt. Every homosexual does this. Cheats on her and she has no friends because of how she treated her child. She got isolated because she was stigmatized by some loser who's only using her for a place to live because surely he's not with her for her winning personality. I am 42, left my home due to a similar situation at 17. I haven't spoken to my mother since, and you know what? I bet she likes it. Fuck these piece of shit humans that drag us unwillingly into this world just to throw us to the curb for a stranger. Please get therapy ASAP. I harbored anger for what she did for almost 25 years. It ate me up and ruined a good relationship I formed once I was established on my own. This isn't your fault and it's not fair. Unfortunately, you have to cut your losses and remember that you didn't deserve this. That's really good advice. Am I the arsehole? My 8-month-old baby has blue eyes and my relatives and others make it a big deal in front of my brown-eyed 6-year-old. What? I have blue eyes and my husband has brown. I never thought it was a big deal for my looks, as I have met people with blue eyes that are both attractive and unattractive. Eye colour doesn't make you attractive or unattractive. Some people are personally attracted to certain eye colours. They have like a preference, but it's not like a be or end all. And also, just the start of this at least is screaming the master race to me. If they have blonde hair as well, I'm just going to be like, I know where this is going, but we will see. Also, why the fuck is someone thinking about the attractiveness of an eye colour of a child? That screams, I need to check your hard drive. I was never attracted to a person because of the colour of their eyes. Having said that, when my first baby was born 6.5 years ago, he had blue eyes. For some reason, my family made a big deal of it. Like, how lucky we are the baby got my eyes. However, by the age of 6 months old, his eyes were grey, and when he turned 1, his eyes had settled to brown. That's interesting. Neither I nor my husband had any preference on the baby's eyes, and we did not even pay attention to it as it was happening. So, no disappointment on our side. My family, though, expressed their disappointment by saying that is a pity. 8 months ago, I gave birth to our second son. My mother, who lives 5 hours away, was here when I gave birth, and she expressed her joy when she saw that the baby's eyes are blue and similar to mine, so hopefully they will remain blue. She said this in front of my 6-year-old. This made me instantly alerted, and I told her that it literally does not matter what colour his eyes will be, as all colours are beautiful. Literally. Also, by the way, can I say, as someone who has blue eyes, it can be a fucking pain in the ass. People with blue eyes have less melanin in their eyes. And I mean, I'm literally like Casper anyway. So not only do I burn in the sun, but I also can't see basically in the sun. And I can't basically see at night either nowadays.
Is that good? Is that good?
I feel like I'm getting blinder and blinder, but things are getting darker and darker because LED lights are just a pain in the ass and only illuminate directly underneath them and don't actually illuminate the area like in the good old days.
How do you do, fellow kids?
But the point is, if anything, having brown eyes is a plus because you don't have to constantly be like this when there's a bright light. Like, I've had to get used to this ring light because when I do this, which is like the sun, I'm, as you can tell, squinting. This is a lot more comfy for me. She still does not get it. When I visited her some months ago with my older son, she asked me in front of him whether his eyes are turning grey or brown. My other relatives for some reason got curious about his eyes too. Still in front of my 6-year-old with brown eyes, telling me how both my brother's kids have blue eyes and only my 6-year-old in my family has brown. Many times we video call with my mother, she asks about the baby's eyes, often with my 6-year-old present. He has not expressed his disappointment exactly, but he has asked questions like, why does the baby have blue eyes and I don't, and whether brown eyes are not beautiful. She's literally causing this kid to have body dysmorphia. So last week I was video calling my mother. She asked my baby's eyes again in front of my 6-year-old, and I kind of snapped, asking her to stop talking about the eye colour and forget about it once and for all, because all types of eyes are nice and it is not important to mention ever again. She got insulted, yes, if that kid shouldn't be insulted, and angry, so she barely talks to me now. Am I the arsehole?
Absolutely not!
Edit for info, no person of colour is involved in this situation. Okay, so this is not a, as I was wondering. I think you handled it well enough considering. Maybe follow up with a discussion, explain you've noticed how she's pulled back, and since you snapped, explain further why it's bothering you, constantly brought up, and how it's not fair to your other child. If she keeps being distant and playing the victim, just carry on with life as it should. She's an adult having a toddler tantrum. Boomers love to play the victims. This is so weird. Right? I'm sat here like, why does OP's mum not stop going on about it? It's an eye colour. Like, someone else said babies' eyes change colour a lot during their first year. The fact it's making their 6-year-old question their eye colour is wild, because why does it matter? I've literally never thought about my eye colour when I was a kid. I had body dysmorphia from like the age of about 10. I remember vividly I was sat in the car next to my friends and they were all particularly skinny, and I remember seeing my thigh. I've got thicker thighs and I always have had more thicker thighs than my friends, and my thighs were like wider when sat down. Theirs were like this wide and mine was like this wide, and I was just so immediately self-conscious, and it's probably only me that like noticed it, but for whatever reason I noticed it and never was not able to notice it again. Then I started realizing that I was more overweight than they were, and then I realised like that not only were they skinnier, but like their clothes fit better, or that, you know, there was just like this thing after that. It just caused more and more and more body dysmorphia, and it can happen from a very young age. So the fact that she's causing body dysmorphia in someone who's 6 is insane, especially about their fucking eye colour. I mean, it shouldn't be about anything, obviously, but like your eye colour? Seriously? Tell her about the conversation you had with your 6-year-old and how her words have affected him. Good piece of advice. Okay, last one. Am I the arsehole because my friend didn't want to split the check? This depends on what you're splitting. I think I've spoken about this before. There definitely are issues where people like over order. They'll order like, for example, a steak and lobster, for example, and you order like something in your budget.
Rachel just had that little salad, and Joey with his like teeny pizza.
How about we'll each just pay for what we had, okay? It's no big deal.
Not for you.
And then they're like, should we just split the bill? No. How about no? Pay for what you fucking ordered. But then there are other times where you both have similar things, then yeah, just split the bill, it's fine. The one time this happened to me and someone was like, we're not splitting the bill, they got more than we did, I got so angry. This is just a super quick story. There was like a big table of like 20 people, and we were at this Indian restaurant with like a bunch of like friends and stuff, and it was somebody's birthday. We all ordered like curry and rice and naan breads and things like that, and there were people at the other end of the table that kept ordering beers and stuff. I wasn't drinking. I don't drink a huge amount anyway. I didn't see the point of drinking that night because we were all just having a meal, so I had like a lemonade or something. The girl opposite me, who was friends with like another person's boyfriend or whatever, she also didn't get an alcoholic drink, and we both just had one soft drink the whole night. It comes towards the end, we've all finished our meals, and we decide that we want dessert. So we both get dessert. When the bill comes, the people at the other end of the table that had been drinking like 4 or 5 beers by this time complained that they didn't want to pay for our desserts. And I turned around, and I'm still very proud of the fact that I turned around and said this, because you wouldn't believe it now. But I used to be very, very, very meek. I think I was like 19 or 20 at the time, and I was very meek in comparison to what I am now. I remember saying, well, how is it fair then that I'm paying for their 4 or 5 beers, because their beers cost more than my dessert, and I had one drink that probably cost like £3 or something. Why am I paying for their beer then? They clocked what I said, or they realised how much they had clocked up compared to what we had, not only was it negligible, but they probably would have been paying more if we'd actually properly split the bill. So we all split it in the end. So that's why I'm saying it is all dependent, I will say. So one of my friends who I hadn't seen in a long time messaged me saying that we should hang out, to which I replied that yeah, it sounds great. We decided to go to a bar for a couple of drinks and everything was great until we asked for the check. The waitress came and my friend gave me that "I'm just waiting for you to pay" look. I looked at her confused because honestly in this situation I didn't expect to pay for everything since it was a casual night out and not a date, you know what I mean? I said to her that we should go 50-50 and she hesitated and started looking for money in her purse. Of course, I said that it was okay and ended up paying. Am I an asshole thinking this is fair? No. You're not an arsehole. You know I'm the man in this situation, but she invited me, so I don't know. Oh, she was so expecting. Oh, that's even worse. She was rude. Yeah, weird. I don't expect my guy best friend to pay for me. Maybe she thought it was a date. Even so, she invited you, so she should pay. At least pay for herself. Like, I've done that before where I've had, like, I was trying to make new friends and I've, like, bought their meal. Like, we went out to a coffee shop or whatever and got, like, a coffee and a cake or whatever, and I've just paid for their stuff. They, like, kind of ghosted me. So after that, I was just like, I'm not going to do that again. And I met up with another person I tried to make friends with, and we did split the thing because I was like, I'm not doing this again. And again, pretty much ghosted. So maybe it's just me. I don't know. But I've tried to make sure that I don't do that anymore because people will take advantage. No, you're not overreacting in the future. Make it known that will split the bill. And if they aren't comfortable with that, you've been spared. That was just a quick Reddit video. If there are any specific Reddit posts you want me to react to, please let me know. If it's like, am I the asshole, wedding drama, dating hell, anything like that, please let me know in the comment below. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!